Baby, the church is mad at Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel, she just put out a post recently. This is what she said. She said, I am a Christian. Let's just stop there. I am a Christian. If you start in your life with that phrase, I am a Christian, you are saying, I am right now standing in proxy to represent Christ. That's what you're saying. I'm a Christian who supports, celebrates, and loves LGBTQ plus folks. You are safe and cherished with me. This is a woman that you are allowing to indoctrinate your children. We can't stand with this. As a unified church, this is something we stand.
First thing I learned as a child in the church was love thy neighbor. He without sin cast the first stone. There's nowhere in the Bible where it says hate the LGBTQIA plus community. Miss Rachel is closer to following God's word than that damn pastor at the podium. And this is why deconstructing Christianity is highly important. You talking about indoctrinating your children? She's teaching your children to love everybody regardless of who they are. You're teaching your children to judge people just because they are not alike. And that is white Christian nationalism at its best.
Safe and cherished. That's a scandal. Safe and cherished is not demonic. You can disagree without demonizing. You can interpret scripture differently without teaching children that affirmation is satanic.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, you're going to be reacting to videos of Miss Rachel, who right now is apparently getting cancelled by white churches. Why? Because of the controversial stance she's been having on the internet.
Right, and the biggest question you're going to be asking today before you watch the videos is, do you support Pastor Dave, or do you think that he is preaching but he is not showing what is written in the Bible, which is love and acceptance to all? Because right now he is calling his flock to not let their children be indoctrinated by Miss Rachel. So my biggest question is that, do you support him in his views, given that most of you have kids here, or do you not support him in his views? So before you find out what we think, let's watch and then you come back and talk about it. You can also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and let's watch and then you come back.
Hi, Miss Rachel. It says here that you want to, quote, protect all children. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. I would like to protect all children. And does that include Palestinian children? Yes, obviously that includes Palestinian children. Oh, so you support What? That's not what I said at all. I said I think all children should be protected. Oh, okay, so you think Palestinian children should be protected and safe, but not Israeli children. Again, that's not what I said. I think all children should be safe, and that includes Israeli children and Palestinian children. I understand. So what you're saying is you're anti-Semitic. What in the world are you talking about? That's not what I said. Next question. How much is Hamas paying you to say these things? No one is paying me to say these things. This is just basic human decency and morality. It is normal to not think that any children should be bombed. And it's crazy that you're trying to make excuses for bombing children. Well, folks, you heard it here first. Miss Rachel is a terrorist. I mean, this is crazy. What are you gonna say next? That I'm an evil monster because I think children deserve food and water? Oh my God, she's a communist.
Because who give a about being a part of your church? Miss Rachel don't give a about you or your church. Unless you got some starving kids in that mother. Then she gonna be at your front door talking about where the food for these kids at. Yeah, see, the pastor letting all that gel and hairspray get to his brain, cause what? And they also mad about this.
Miss Rachel, what is this? Huh? Miss ma'am? What is this? So you sent $3,000 to fund Abdul El Sayed's campaign. That is very interesting, to say the least. Miss ma'am, you are a hack. You are a sellout. I don't know about y'all, but I am so grateful that I have not allowed my kids to watch Miss Rachel in a very long time.
Oh, I feel so sorry for your kids. They're going to be a lot less compassionate and a lot less smart not watching Miss Rachel. So sorry for them. And here's some of the other things that Miss Rachel done said that done pissed these off. Black boys deserve to grow up. Very controversial. We know the investigation and everything that followed would have been different if Nolan Wells were white and his friends were black. Nolan and his family deserve justice. But these is big mad because Miss Rachel loves everyone. They thought that she was MAGA. I don't know what the fuck them think that she was MAGA, but she clearly is not MAGA. She's been fighting for kids in Gaza for how many months now? Or has been over a year now? Nothing about Miss Rachel says MAGA. But they've been all over the internet talking about grab your torch and pitchforks because we're going after Miss Rachel. And what does Miss Rachel have to say about all this backlash? I don't care about backlash. I care about kids. Miss Rachel said y'all can cancel her and take that backlash and shove it up. Yeah. But she don't give a fuck.
Stop letting your children watch Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel has spent years teaching children kindness. Now she's a villain because she asked a difficult question? You don't have to agree with Miss Rachel. Asking whether race can influence the way a case is viewed shouldn't be an outrageous question. Miss Rachel didn't insult black people. She didn't attack families. She raised the question whether a black teenager would have been treated differently under different circumstances. Conversation people have been having across America for decades. Suddenly the same people that scream about free speech are telling her to stay in her lane. Want celebrities to use their platforms. Now Miss Rachel actually does it and the responses stick to singing nursery rhymes? That's selective outrage. If you think Miss Rachel is wrong, explain why. Bring facts, bring evidence. Let's have a conversation. Don't act like asking uncomfortable questions makes somebody hateful. Maybe the real question here isn't about Miss Rachel at all. Maybe it's about whether we're willing to hear viewpoints we don't like without trying to cancel the people who said them. Do better.
This is Mr. Rogers.
Would you like to join me?
That looks awfully enjoyable, but I don't have a towel or anything.
Oh, you share mine.
Okay, sure.
This, please watch it, is a histrionic middle-aged woman who turned her cluster B personality disorder and her arrested development
A very funny, retardation.
into a $10 million YouTube career. This is a prayer for children in Gaza. That prayer is a cry for help.
What did I just watch? Please get me out of this timeline. Guys, that was wild.
Safe and cherished. That's a scandal. Safe and cherished is not demonic. You can disagree without demonizing. You can interpret scripture differently without teaching children that affirmation is satanic. And I use the word satanic because listen to where Dave takes this.
Listen to me, parents with young kids. Do you not think that the devil is smart enough? Or I wonder if he's going to use someone that might even claim to be a Christian, but is doing children's content to indoctrinate your children in the ways of demons.
Sir, which demon specializes in cherishing people? I've read this here Bible 46 times, working on my 47th, and I cannot find the demon of making marginalized children feel safe. What are we forming in children when we connect LGBTQ affirmation with Satan and demons? What happens when that child meets an LGBTQ kid at school? Did you train them to see a neighbor or a spiritual threat? Because Christians cannot manufacture prejudice on Sunday and then act mystified by bullying on Monday. And please don't call Miss Rachel's message indoctrination while standing behind a pulpit telling parents what their children are allowed to watch. Sir, what you are doing is quite literally textbook indoctrination. You are calling out somebody that is not indoctrination while doing the indoctrination yourself. This is diabolical. Jesus said we recognize people by their fruit. Paul says the fruit of the Spirit is, guess what? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. So inspect the fruit. One message says you are safe, you are cherished, you are loved. The other warns about deception, Satan, false teaching, and demons because somebody said you are safe, you are cherished, you are loved. And somehow we're supposed to look at those two trees and be afraid of Miss Rachel's fruit. Come on. Aren't you tired of fear dressed like faith? And Miss Rachel, keep protecting these babies. Pop is paying attention now. We don't play about you. Safe and cherished is not demonic.
Hey y'all, what's up? Look, y'all. Christians, Christian nationalists, I need y'all to come to the front. Christian nationalist pastors, also, I need y'all to come to the front too. If Pastor Dave Christ, if you're in the audience, if you can see this video, would you please hang on and listen to what I have to say and possibly have a conversation with me? So, Pastor Christ, my name is Pastor Miles. I was licensed in 2008. I was ordained a few years later. I'm a pastor. I have two daughters that are part of the LGBTQ plus and now community. Does that make me any less of a pastor? Does that mean I can't go stand behind a pulpit and preach the word of God? I'm going to break this down to you and make it real easy, real simple. I'm going to make this idiot proof on why we as pastors shouldn't get out here and get on social media and denounce someone for trying to do good. We are supposed to love everyone. That is the greatest commandment from God. Matthew 22:37. Love the Lord God with all your mind, heart, body, soul. And the second is almost like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you truly love God the way y'all say y'all do, and love your fellow man, your fellow neighbor like you love yourself, there wouldn't be never a negative video made about what she's doing. You would want the best for everyone. You wouldn't be looking down on anyone because of how they live their lives.
Okay, some of y'all MAGA/Trump supporters are tripping real bad about Miss Rachel. All because she say justice for Nolan Wells. That's what we want. And y'all going in on her like a pancake on the skillet. Really? That's what we all want. But when we say what y'all really want, what y'all really tripping about, then y'all want to, get hostile. Oh, y'all always want to play the race card. Yeah, that's what it is, because y'all ain't got no reason to trip on her. So what? She wants justice for Nolan Wells like we all do. And y'all got a problem with her, and then y'all say, I'm not letting my children, and I'm going to tell my neighbors not to let their children watch that too. You watch. Go ahead. Like they're going to stop them. Just because who she want to stand on the right side of justice? Come on now. Y'all tripping a little bit too deep. Y'all go on with that. Miss Rachel, we stand with you. And you keep on doing what you doing. Don't worry about them, because they been supporting the wrong stuff anyway with that idiot in the White House over there. So don't even worry about it. Keep on doing you.
Protect Miss Rachel. I don't know why anything she has said is controversial. She advocates for all children, like the ones in Palestine, like Black children here in the US. She said these children deserve to live and to grow old and to have educations. And somehow people have been attacking her like she's endangering certain people's civil rights. If you take a universally agreed upon statement such as all children deserve to live, and you take a subset of that first group, for example, Black children, Palestinian children, and say Black children deserve to live, Palestinian children deserve to live. If you take issue with asserting the human rights of the subset of the whole, then you don't actually agree with the first statement that all children deserve to live. You are advocating for the continued hunting and oppression of certain groups of children. This woman basically has to go into hiding because of the threats that she's been getting online. You would think it's that she said that other children besides Black children don't deserve to live, but she never said that. If someone's house is on fire and you say, no, all houses deserve to have their fires put out, but your house is not on fire and theirs is, what are you doing? There are certain groups of children whose lives are more at risk than others. There's no escaping that. It's in the news every single day. Just this year, Nolan Xavier Wells and Cyrus Carmack Belton, Juliana Nizita, all Black children 18 and under. And this is also why I say that there is no real community for some people. Because even though she looks like you, a lot of you aren't even willing to hear out Miss Rachel. You just resort to attacking her and not treating her like a human and treating her like she's a member of an outgroup. That's not real community. And certain groups of people in this country are exposing themselves to be united based on only hate. But that's nothing new, is it?
You don't need to let your kids watch Miss Rachel. Well, my kids are grown, so good, because she's demonic. What? What did she do? She said Black boys deserve to grow up. Do they not? Well, yeah, of course they do. Then I don't see what the problem is. I'm just tired of all of this anti-whiteness. What? Are you saying since she said that Black boys deserve to grow up, then that implies that white boys don't? Don't try to twist the narrative. Trump got rid of DEI, so we shouldn't have to deal with this crap, putting one race over another. We should be judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin, just like Martin Luther King Jr. said. Why didn't Miss Rachel talk about black on black crime? Huh? Why didn't she talk about the lack of fathers in Black households? No, she said what she said to to push her anti-white narrative and indoctrinate little white kids into being ashamed of being white. Well, Nolan Wells didn't commit a crime, and he had a father, so. I like Miss Rachel. She and I have a lot in common. We are both people who have a lot of empathy, and we are both people who do not give a fuck about what insignificant people think about us. You don't even know what a woman is. Cry harder, Lib.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the videos we just played. Yeah, for some reason right now Miss Rachel is finding herself in more trouble than ever before, right? There was the issue of her supporting Palestinian kids, and some people didn't like that, but it wasn't as loud as this one, right? I feel like her supporting Nolan Wells now brought that magnifying lens on her, and now white people have started finding reasons to not like her anymore,
right? And the question we asked when you were opening the episode was, do you support the pastor in his views when he said that parents should not let their kids be indoctrinated with Miss Rachel about the lifestyle of the LGBTQ+? And my answer is this, yeah. Advocating, just as one parent said here, advocating for everybody is not a sin, number one. And number two, just because you don't agree with someone's views does not mean you actively start demonizing that person
and let them like the worst sin
that ever happened. Exactly, because we all sin, right? And number three, you should not teach your children how to hate other people just because they're different from you, right? Personally, if I were a parent, I wouldn't want my young child to learn about the LGBTQ+ simply because they're children and they need to grow up, and if and only if should they ever reach to that situation where they're confused about their identity, would I allow them to look at materials that would help them understand their identity. But as children do not know anything. So I do to some extent understand the priest, although I don't support the manner in which he delivered his message. Maren, what do you think?
Okay, personally, I feel like, I don't know how I can put it, but okay, her supporting everybody is not a problem. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, she's got a pure heart, and that is what she's spreading. If something were to happen today and it happened to a group of people you do not like, let's say for example that even costed them their lives, right? Should you come out now to celebrate because now that group of people you don't like have been harmed, or should you be human enough to come in support and speak up about that? Because at the end of the day, those are human lives, and they all also deserve to live equally and peacefully on earth, you know. At the end of the day, who is to judge who has a greater sin than another person?
Exactly.
If you know and you stand strong in your conviction, then that should not matter. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. And where the pastor went wrong, personally, I feel, is when he told parents he was actively demonizing people who are different from him.
And you know the funny thing, I would like for such pastors to also call out the big man in the White House, you know, because you cannot choose.
You cannot choose and pick who you are calling out.
Yeah, and we also cannot choose who has a greater sinner than the other. Because this kind of pastors, they're very quick when it comes to, you know, going out to, you know, cancel people like this. But where were all these priests when allegations about Trump came out? Is it that you only choose to go after who you choose to, and others you choose to not see their sins? Or is it that Miss Rachel advocating for people, minority groups that have problems in society is a greater sin compared to that which has been committed by other people you consider powerful?
Right, because personally, I may not want children to be taught about the LGBTQ+ community, right? But that does not mean that I will actively go out into the world and wish them harm or do anything, because they live how they want to live, and that is a choice everybody chooses to live. Just the same way as I see myself as straight and choose to live as a straight person, and I don't face any danger of someone coming to my doorstep and trying to, you know, stone me or do anything to me because I've chosen to be straight. It's the same way that I would never advocate for someone to go to the doorstep of the LGBTQ+ community and try to do any kind of harm, you know. And so this guy, he knows full well that standing upon that podium, he could have packaged his message differently, and standing upon that podium, he has some sort of influence towards the audience that he preaches to. So for this, I really truly believe that he should have been more responsible in how he calls out Miss Rachel.
Anyway, at the end of the day, everybody has their own stand, and that is what we have to understand, right? The thing is, the priest has his own moral values he's standing on, and you also
And he
cannot
believes
say,
he's right when he's standing
and
on
who's
that
to say
moral
he's
ground.
right or wrong, because he's spreading his the change he brings in the world in the best way he knows how to, and Miss Rachel also is doing it the way she knows best, So the wrong thing about it is that if he decided to do that, knowing he has a big platform and he'd go viral for it,
and
what the intentions behind him giving that show and sermon.
Right, and you also know that children's minds are very malleable, no? So if you let a child grow up in such kind of a hateful environment, a child will grow up mistreating people who are different from him or her, because that is what their very influential pastor who has influence in their lives told them. So, the kind of fear you'd grow up with when you went to such churches, that is the same thing I'm trying to say.
In Africa, we'd be scared. We'd be scared too. Oh my goodness! They used to tell us, if you sit next to a boy, you're gonna get pregnant.
Anyway, that aside, that just goes to say that even kids, when they're growing up and you tell them something in such a tone, they grow up having such biases towards
and a fear towards a certain topic.
So guys, let us know what you think about this episode down on the comment section, and also let us know, do you think that this pastor was right? And if yes, do you think he went about it the right way or the wrong way? And or do you think he was wrong in his views? And also, do you think how he went about it was in the right way or the wrong way? Let us know down in the comment section. See you on our next episode.